Hey everyone, it is Tuesday 15th July and welcome to another T-Log. Now, I found a good article by Augusto Evangelista today about complexity in the agile software development paradigm. And Augusto goes on to say about reducing complexity and stop taking excuses. And the idea that we will constantly try and identify complexity and try and work with it as if it's a real tangible problem that is on the table that has to be addressed. And his article is saying that isn't the case, and what we need to do is apply practices and thinking that in agile teams that we already know, and keep layering those in to get rid of the complexity and stop using it as an excuse to deliver poorly, lately, badly, etc. And it goes on to say a couple of things, which is the do not future-proof. Again, we've heard this before. Deal with the technology and the problem as it's defined right now and deliver something that will address that developmental problem on the basis of you ain't gonna need it in the future. And also, to identify only the value that needs to be delivered and deliver that. Don't deliver additional value. So these are, there's a few other little pieces here. Feel free to read the article, of course. I'll make sure I put a link in the YouTube description and in the blog. But this got me thinking about the software testing domain, obviously, and the kind of complexities that we can face. Now, in any project, we'll face complexities on a day-to-day basis. So it could be, how do we select a regression set of test cases from an overall suite? Or how do we prioritize them? Or how do we estimate the effort needed to automate a set of manual tests or execute those tests, for example, when we're building out schedule? And we would do well to remember these principles that are described in the blog post here. So when we're putting our test automation solution together, keep it simple, address only the testing problem that we're faced right now. Don't future-proof it by building in bells and whistles, because we can always do that later. And there's a good chance the business will never ask for it. The application will never develop down the technology path that we think that the automation solution should cover. And even our test cases, we may elaborate the test cases with user conditions that we believe will be implemented at some point or will be useful, because we know a certain payment provider is going to be implemented or a certain technology stack might be migrated to. But we wouldn't do that. We would just automate, we would test, we would have the scope of our testing based on the testing problem right now. And there's many ways to break down complexity. So for example, I mentioned estimation, and one of the things that I do when people say, I can't possibly estimate how long it will take to do a certain task, you can start with the ridiculous and get closer to the more reasonable by saying, well, will it take a day? No, that's far too short. Well, how about a month? No, that's way too long. Great. So we've already got our upper and lower boundaries there, right? And just keep working in. Does 2 days sound reasonable? How about 2 weeks? And eventually you'll get a kind of size, but you're reducing the complexity, the potential scale of the problem, by just applying, a bit of gut feel, bit of heuristics, little bit of experience, and so on. And so it's definitely worth having a read, and as with all of these things, looking for the principles, the models that we can extract and apply to our software testing. Now, continuing on with the theme of the tester community, I mentioned the other day that on Wednesday 30th, let's just pull that up, there is the UK Test Management Forum, midday to early evening, and then early evening to late evening we've got the London Tester Gathering. A little bit sooner than that, in fact, this Sunday, on Sunday the 20th, is the European Weekend Testing session, and looks like the facilitators are Amy and Neil, mentioned here. And what you've got to do is, as instructed here, just let people know that you wish to attend, and then jump on that. The weekend testing is it's been going a few years actually. I think it's been going maybe 4 or 5 years, and it's a really great a great platform for you to join, chat and general discussion on an informal basis with the testing community. It says Europe here. I guarantee this will probably have a few more global members on there. And in fact, a little while ago, I put together this Weeknight Testing. This was something that appears to have stopped now. We did Weeknight Testing, black box security testing, and what I did there, I set up. This was the page. Not too many comments on here, but in fact, it was 3 years ago nearly. Wow. Okay. And what I did there was to install Google's Gruyere, I think that's how it's pronounced, application onto a cloud server that I had, one that I didn't put enough memory, I think it was, on, and so the damn thing crashed and we ended up going back to Gruyere, Google's deployed version of Gruyere. And what this is an application that has got lots of holes in, as per the cheese, and it allows you to practice exploiting web applications, practicing your basic hacking, and looking for essentially web application security vulnerabilities. And it's guided, so it will, for example, offer you a series of challenges and suggest which tools you could use. So really good if you want to have a look at just the basics of security testing. Gruyere is a good application to use. And in fact, on the Weeknight Testing page, I think the PDF is still there. Yes, this was the PDF that we put together to guide people as to how to run the session. Obviously these URLs etc. don't exist now. We took the application down. Couldn't share the application because we modified it, and obviously it was copyright by Google. So we just used it on the night and got rid of it. But what created here was some fake support tickets that give a little indication of the kind of problems that you might be able to find. So certainly grab, if you want to have a look at this for yourself, you can hit Gruyere, but you can use this PDF file, again linked from the Weeknight Testing website. And in fact, yes, you can get a copy of the transcript where you will read that the application crashes. Didn't expect so many people to attend, so they broke it very quickly. So you can go through these tickets and try and work out what you think is happening here. But on the Gruyere application, it has a cheat sheet. You will be able to find the issues anyway, so you can test yourself and then go and check. That's pretty good. So I certainly recommend in this case, weekend testing. And in fact, I think we may have been the last Weeknight Testing, certainly on here anyway. Not sure if it's moved. Yeah, not sure if it's moved to another website, but the Weekend Testing, which it always was, continues unabated across the different regional areas there. So be sure to check that out. Again, go and have a conversation with some of your fellow European testing colleagues. And if you want to, grab Gruyere and have a play through what we did 3 years ago now. In the other one to tell you about as well, that is pretty exciting, this is a lot later, obviously it's in August, as you can see here, 11th to 13th, is CAST. So this Association of Software Testing, they are doing the CAST 2014, obviously here it is, but what I didn't know was that they do the livecast here. And so it will be possible for those that are not in the US to benefit from watching these, and clearly there's some other videos up here as well. It says it's a trailer, but let's see what's on there. So put that one in your diaries as well, August 11th to the 13th. The AST is definitely an organisation you should be looking at. If you've not visited this web page and looked at what's available to you here, do so. Your interaction with the community and the materials that they have here will definitely improve your testing, period. It's absolutely superb. The last thing that I wanted to mention was, again, another shocker today, was that, in fact, where are you, Hugs? Yeah, that Jason Hugs informed the world that the Selenium project turns 10 years old this summer. Absolutely incredible. That it was, here we go, July, August 2004. Who'd have thought that? Well, let's see what's going on here. That's clever. So, Selenium, 10 years old. Can you believe it? As you know, Selenium is the Selenium IDE plugin for Firefox, so you can do record and playback. Superb for just capturing some basic actions, sort of proof of concepting your scripts, but then you would want to go in and build them up. And then, of course, you've got Selenium WebDriver on this side as well. So this is Selenium version 2. And if you've not had a look at Selenium, I'm sure you've heard of it. Be sure to do so. And you should also, in fact, hit, as it says here, Source Labs. Source Labs extensively use Selenium, I would say would be the right way to describe it. So certainly keep in touch with Source Labs if you're interested in Selenium. And hey, Selenium is going from strength to strength. I'm going 10 years already. That's incredible for a test tool. And like I say, version 2, as some of you know, I used to play with version 1, but version 2 is the current iteration, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's IDE plus WebDriver is version 2. I thought it was on here actually. Version 2 was not massively different. It just got rid of the remote control component, but hey, that's history now. Have a look at Selenium as it exists. And in fact, if you go onto the SQA Forums, there is an active Selenium forum on here as well. So you've always got a place to ask your questions if you're getting involved with it, but you can't work out what to do. But visit the Selenium website, go grab it, read through the documentation. I think you'll find it's surprisingly simple to use. And that is the main stuff that hit today. I added a new video, nested if statements for the Ruby into the Ruby playlist yesterday, and on the site, obviously we've got the log from yesterday, the T-log, but I've got a bunch of templates that we'll put on the main website. Obviously we'll throw some more templates up here. As I say, I'm breaking these down a little more, so look out for some new templates on there. In fact, I've got skills matrix, sign-off tracker that I don't like the idea of, but I'll talk about that again, and an authorization to test. One of the things with security and performance is that the Computer Misuse Act in the UK certainly requires authorization to test. So I will maybe I'll rename this and put it under here, so there's test preparation type documents. So look out for those. I'll let you know about those when I put them on there. And do be sure to go to the YouTube and look at the channel. Have a look over some of the videos. When you see these videos on the blog post, this is where it links back to, obviously. And hit the blog and send me a message if you're not seeing a blog post, an article or a video about something you want to know about. Let me know about that and I'll go fix it. Alrighty, well thanks all, and we'll see you tomorrow.